Good morning for the CJRU morning mixtape. I am Donovan LaCroixy, and debuting with me in the studio, I've got Middle East Tmo. How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing good, man.
You're debuting, eh?
Yeah, man. It feels good to be out here. My first time out here.
You know, where are you from, actually?
Detroit, Michigan.
You see, CJRU is always the number one, giving you the exclusives.
Definitely.
First radio interview?
Yeah, first radio interview.
We're the number one station. What more do you want?
Yes,
Especially
sir.
when it comes to hip-hop and R&B. You know Donovan loves his hip-hop and R&B.
Yes, sir.
All right.
At the top already.
All right. So talk to us about how you got into the rap game, and talk to us about Middle East Tmo, the meaning.
Okay, so I got into the music. I started off managing back in like 2011. So I was a manager for quite some time, and we dropped a mixtape, not me but my artist, and it did very well. Like, it was doing very good to the point where we got taken out to New York. We had meetings with Rock Nation, G Unit, Atlantic Records, and basically like things were going good, but then it started going downhill. And at that point, probably in 2018, I just decided I have to get myself to where I want to be. I can't rely on nobody else, so I decided to start making music. And the crazy thing is, like, when I started making music, I was still going to do like managing, but my partner told me, stick to doing music for 6 months, 100%, and see where you're at. And I dropped my first video, and boom, it just started taking off like that. So that's what I just did. And then Middle EastSide Tmo, that just means really like, because I live in the middle of the East Side, so I just put the two together. It's kind of a word play on Middle Eastern. So, like, it's kind of a play on the word.
Okay, but would that represent the Middle East of Detroit as well, or just being of the Middle Eastern background?
No, so the thing is, I'm Pakistani, so I'm not even Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
So, but like growing up, obviously everyone thought like, he's Middle Eastern and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just put the little word play on it. Mm-hmm. And then like a lot of major artists that, I had done like songs with and stuff, when I told them about my idea, they were like, yo, like that sounds really dope. Like Middle East Side, like we never heard of nothing like that before. That sounds pretty cool. So it kind of just started taking off from there.
How do you feel about being of a Pakistani background and being a rapper? What do you plan for your community to see? Because there's not a lot of rappers, and we're going to talk race here for a minute. There's not a lot of rappers from Pakistan. What do you plan to change about that?
Oh, yeah. So like you said, like in the beginning when I was dropping music, like I was getting a lot of like backlash, like even from my own people, because it's like in our religion, it's looked at as like music is the devil's game. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, all right, I'm incorporating our culture into music. I'm not trying to say nothing bad in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to, spread our culture through the music, because like you said, there's not too many Pakistani artists in the game. So it's like, why not be the first?
Yeah. And you could be, okay, people compare you, would it be fair? Because people might always compare you to French Montana too. Would that be, and French Montana's from Morocco, by the way, so total difference. But why is it people would compare artists like you to French Montana?
I've gotten that a lot. Like sometimes people will say I sound like him, or just like my music kind of comes off like his. I didn't think that it did, but a lot of people had told me that, so I kind of was just like, all right, whatever. But honestly, I don't know why people would assume that. But like I said, like any comparisons in the beginning is good for me, because at least I'm being talked about.
Yes, and you have to me, I think you're Eminem as well, aggressive with your lyrics, and Eminem is from Detroit as well. So what do you think about that? And aggressive doesn't have to mean a bad way. It could mean a good way, like you're really letting out some stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. So like that's a high honor to be even like told that, because in my eyes, Eminem is like one of the GOATs. You right up there with Lil Wayne to me. So like to be compared or to even be talked about in the same breath as Eminem is like, that's pretty dope to me.
Now, you have had people, I think you mentioned it earlier, reach out to you. Other rappers have reached out.
Yeah.
Do you want to let the listeners know? Because you look like you're rising slowly, that people are knowing about you. And he doesn't have to have a Billboard song for people to know him, because he is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. So like I said, like when I dropped my first video, there's a big popular artist named Snapdog from Detroit as well. And literally the first video I ever dropped, like we used to try to get features from him when I was being a manager, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So when I dropped my first video, he commented on it with the fire emoji, and then he tweeted me like a couple hours later, and he was just like, keep working, I'm watching you. So I actually had a video shot in the UK and by Skak. And so I dropped that video like a week later just because I was so hype, like he reached out. And then I dropped that video, and then he just messaged me, yo, we got to work, sent me his number, like we've been in contact since then. So that's one. And then Sauce Walker as well, major artist from Texas. He also, Say Cheese, I don't know if you ever heard of them.
No, I haven't heard of Say
So
Cheese.
they're like a very popular media outlet on Instagram. So they posted one of my videos. And Sauce Walker hit me up after that, and he was just like, I mess with your music. And he wasn't messaging me in terms of like, let's do music, but he was messaging me in terms of like, it's important to build relationships in this industry. So he was just giving me some knowledge on the game. So I was ecstatic, because like I said, I've only been dropping music for 7-8 months.
Oh yes, you have. Now, but you do compare yourself to Lil Wayne in the lyrics too, and you love Lil Wayne too.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, so really what I was just doing, like I just was freestyling over one of his beats. And like we were saying, like I believe Wayne is like the GOAT when it comes to punchlines and bars and metaphors. So to me, it's like I'm trying to get on that status. I'm trying to have people listen to my music and be like, oh, he's cold with the bars, he's cold with the punchlines. So I kind of want to get up there with Lil Wayne. It's a far reach, but I'm gonna get there for sure.
I think you would get there.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
would work with him, wouldn't you? Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you like his new single, "I Do It"?
Yeah, I like his new album as well.
Funeral.
Yeah, I feel like the production could have been a little bit better, but his bars are up to par as usual. So yeah,
I think because with Lil Wayne, he's been away for a while, so now there was even, is he retiring, is he not retiring, and then the whole mess with Birdman too. I don't want to get into all that, and it was a mess. So that's why Lil Wayne is rushing singles and rushing music now. That all should have even been released probably 3 or 4 years ago, but it couldn't be. So what do you say to that, being under the right people? What happens when there's a delay in your music?
Well, like speaking on that situation, I felt like for somebody who carried the whole record label of Cash Money and put them on his back, I feel like, Birdman did him super dirty by withholding his money from him, not paying him what he was owed. So I mean, that also kind of gave me insights on how to deal with stuff as I move further in the industry, where it's, it doesn't matter who the person is. You can think that, I trust this person with my life, this and that. But if money is involved, anyone can do you dirty.
And that's not going to happen to you because you're under the right management.
Yeah. So I just started working with him probably, maybe a week ago.
Yeah.
But I've known him since like high school. So, I started working with him for like a week. And it was just like, we just clicked because there's no jealousy, there's no, animosity. We both know that we both have the same end goal, and that's what we're trying to reach.
Shout him out.
Yeah, my boy Shami, AJ. You feel me?
He's here.
Yeah,
now, what are your singles now? Because remember, I was making that you sampled Lil Wayne's instrumentals. So what are your singles? Because I saw one where you were dressed up like a samurai, and you were, you were really ready to go in there and just, Tmo, you're dangerous, man. I don't want to see you on the street. You'll really rip me up, man.
Nah, man. I mean, So the thing with all my music videos is this clothing that I'm wearing is called a kurta. And, you know, like I said, I'm trying to just spread the culture. So every music video I try to wear this, you know, different ones, because it's like I can't dress the same as everyone else, or I'm going to be overlooked. Something has to stand out with me, you know, because anyone can, you know, spit bars, make music, but I was like, you know, what's gonna make me stand out from the rest? So, you know, I decided to incorporate my culture in it. And, you know, in the beginning, a lot of people told me not to. They said, you know, people are going to make fun of you. They're going to do this and that. But the thing with me is I'm not an emotional guy at all. Like, I'm so laid back. I don't care. So to me, like, all the hate, all the jokes is welcome, you know. I get called Nav, like, on a daily basis. So
that's another would you work with Nav too, or
yeah,
no?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with me is, like, I haven't really heard too many of his music. But I'm open to work with anyone, because that's what the industry is about. You can't make enemies. You have to make friends. You know, you have to build relationships. So to me, it's like I'm willing to work with anyone.
I can see you working with Drake.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I can
that would
see
be amazing.
you, Drake, having a single. Oh yes, and that
would be
single
amazing.
would be played on radio stations.
That would be a whole lot of bars.
Oh yes, that would. So do you want to throw out the singles that because people are like, who is this Middle Eastern Tmo?
Yeah, so one of my singles is called Pakistan, and I sampled Lil Wayne on the chorus, where he actually mentioned Pakistan in one of his songs. So sampled him on the chorus. Another single, my favorite one, is called Give and Go, the one we shot in UK. That's probably like everyone's favorite one from what I've been hearing. And then you know, Chaat Masala Flow. So again, like, trying to keep it in the culture, you know, like even naming the songs like something that has to do with our culture. So those are probably the main three right now.
All right, you want to give us a little verse and try to keep it clean if you can.
Man, yeah, I can do that.
All right.
Riding through the city, I'm the big man. Middle East Side, falling for me quicksand. Man died, all disclosed, I was the hit man. Never hit a wood, but keep the K like Tristan. I don't give a damn what a hater gotta say. He ain't talking money, get the man up out my face. I don't give a damn what a hater gotta say. If he ain't talking money, get the man up out my face.
Okay. All right. You got some bars there. You know, what do you
want? A little bit messed up. You sound a little raspy right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to go too crazy right now.
That's okay. What do you want to say to the people in Detroit about your music, and what do you want to say to the Six?
So the people in Michigan, really, you know, I know a lot of people don't believe in me, and I know some people do believe in me. But thing with my manager Shami is we're gonna go after it regardless. We're gonna do whatever we have to do to get to our end goal. And the people in the Six, my first time out here, beautiful city. And you know, I got a show tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to already coming back here and doing some more shows, maybe even hop back on here. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
And when does your album look to drop? Because you said you are working on an album or a mixtape. When is it looking to drop?
So I'm actually going to start working on that after South by Southwest, which is kind of like a big music festival, like Rolling Loud kind of. And I have 2 performances there. So after I come back from Texas, I'm going to start working on the mixtape and probably name it The Middle East Side.
Oh, the Middle East Side. I said Middle Eastern earlier, the Middle East Side. But you could have said Middle Eastern. Do you think, what if somebody comes up with another name like that?
I mean, it's always good to be a trendsetter. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be salty, really. Like, if people, like they say, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So it's like, you know, I wouldn't be mad.
No, okay. No beef there. But, you know, some people like to poke at, or they say, you know what? Wow, I try, but I'll try Middle Eastern Tmo the second. You would be mad at that.
That would be crazy. Okay. I don't know. That one might, you know, tickle a couple feathers.
All right. Do you want to throw out your platforms in case people do want to get to know you?
Yeah. So on Instagram, it's Middle EastSide Tmo, and that's TMO. And same with Apple Music, Spotify, Middle EastSide Tmo. And that's really what I'm at. And YouTube as well. Subscribe to the music channel, Middle EastSide Music.
Middle East Side Music. Okay, yeah. Any final things you want to tell us in closing?
Yeah, So I guess just how we were having a talk as we were walking up here is, when I started, a lot of people told me I couldn't do it. A lot of people tried putting me down. But to anyone who has a dream, whether it's music or anything else, just give your all to it. Go as hard as you can until you get to where you want to be. And, that's it. Just have faith in God and you'll get there.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep grinding with my interviews as well.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
a message from Tmo to
Yes,
me as
sir.
well, too. And to the young people out there, keep grinding whatever you want to do. I really, really want to thank you for
Yes, sir.
debuting.
I want to thank you for having me. It's very, very nice of you. So I appreciate it.
All right. And for CJRU, I'm Donovan LaCrux. You can throw out your name again. I want to thank
Middle EastSide Tmo.